In this video we're gonna create the parallax effect. As you can see, okay, I'm gonna put link in the description of this sprites background. Okay, you can go and check this out. So without furthering delay, let's dive into this topic. Go to assets, right click, create C# script. Okay, name that script to parallax. I already have created this parallax if script. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna select each of this background and we're gonna attach this parallax script. Okay, select each of this background and we're gonna drag this parallax effect to parallax add component section. So I already have added, so I'm gonna remove this one. Okay, so what we're gonna do, firstly we're gonna create the illusion. Okay, firstly what we need, we're gonna get the game object of camera. Okay, and we're gonna multiply with some parallax unit, something like that, and we so it will goes like this, so it will move further, and we're gonna add that whatever we have, whatever unit has been increased, and we're gonna add this to our current background, so it will create the parallax effect. If you haven't got the idea yet, just stay around, I am gonna explain. So double click it to open up the parallax effect script. So what we're gonna do, we need the camera. Okay, we need the camera game object. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a empty field of camera. Okay, and we're gonna drag the main camera, so we will have the camera. So we're gonna make it public to see in the inspector. The type of that game object will be camera, and we're gonna call it something like cam or camera, something like that. We also need the current position of this background. Okay, we also need current position of this background. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a float variable. Okay, we're gonna create a float variable. So we're gonna make it public or private, it's up to you. You can make it private. For explanation, I'm making public. Okay, that will be float, and we're gonna call it something like start pose. Okay, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna set, okay, start post we're gonna set in the start function. Okay, so as you know, start function get call in the start when the game start, and it just call one time. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna set this. Okay, start post equal to transform. Okay, transform dot position dot x. Okay, so basically transform dot position dot x, what does it mean? Basically it's mean current position of the background for each background in the x position. Okay, so as you know, if we select the first background or second background or third background, as you can see current position of this background in the x, as you can see 0, all of this 0, as you can see. So the start pose over here will be 0. Okay, the start pose over here will be 0 because we are directly setting transform dot position dot x over here, means the current position of the in the x direction. Okay, in the x direction for each background. Okay, as you know, if we you can see the current position of the backgrounds in the x position is 0, so the start pose over here float variable will be 0. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create an parallax effect unit, something like that. Okay, and we're gonna multiply that with our camera. Okay, so let's suppose camera position is if I select the main camera. Okay, so as you can see camera position is 0. So what we're gonna do, if the camera position is 1, okay, let's suppose 1. Okay, and if we multiply this with some unit, something like 0.2, something like that. Okay, so it will goes like this, as you can see. If we multiply with this something like 0.5 with bigger number, as you can see, it's just creating the illusion. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna add that whatever we have multiplied, we're gonna add that to our current background. Okay, so it will create the illusion. So what we need, if we go to once again, and we're gonna do it update function. Okay, so as you know, update function get call every single frame, and we're gonna do it every single frame if we just moving or not. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna firstly create that. Okay, float. Okay, we will create float, and we're gonna call it something like distance increase, something like that. Okay, or the effect. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna firstly go to camera, and in the we're gonna access the x position. So firstly we have to go to cam dot transform dot position, and we're gonna access the x position. Okay, x axis. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna multiply with some unit. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna choose parallax effect, and we're gonna choose different number for each background. Okay, the each background will be move differently, so it will create the parallax effect. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make it public. Okay, we're gonna make it public to adjust in inspector, and we're gonna that will be float type. Okay, variable, and we're gonna call it something like parallax effect, something like that. Okay, parallax effect. And by default we're not gonna send anything like that, because we're gonna choose a different number for each background. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna multiply with our current position of main camera, and we're gonna multiply that our parallax effect. Okay, parallax effect. So let's suppose the current position of main camera in the x axis becomes, okay, if I select the main camera, let's suppose current position of main camera in the x axis 1. So it will goes like this. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna choose a different number. Okay, we're gonna multiply this 1, or the current position of main camera in the x axis, we're gonna multiply this with our parallax effects. Let's suppose we choose the parallax effects 0.2. So it will move, as you can see, it moves right. Okay, it moves right. So what we're gonna do, whatever the result is, we're gonna add that result to our current position of background for each background. So what we're gonna do, so as you know, so it will create the illusion. Okay, it will create the illusion, and we are restoring it to this distance. So cam dot transform dot position dot x, let's suppose this becomes 1. Okay, current position of main camera in the x axis, let's suppose 1. So let's suppose we choose the parallax effect 1. So 1 into 1 will be 1, so the distance over here will be 1. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add this distance to our current background. We're gonna add this to our current background. So if we add this, so it will goes like this. Sorry, not the camera, the background will goes like this. Okay, like this. So that is the logic. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do it in the next. Okay, transform. Okay, transform dot position. Basically transform dot position means for each background current position. For each background current position is the transform dot position. Okay, basically it's mean current position of each background. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna set it to new vector 3. And as you know, vector 3 has three axes. Okay, x axis, y axis, and the z axis. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna just only deal with the x axis. So we're gonna work with x axis. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add to our current position what illusion we have created. As you can see, we're gonna add this distance. Okay, so we're gonna add this distance to our current position of background in the x axis, or the background. Okay, so as you can say start pose, as you can see, this is the position of our current background. Okay, as you can see, start pose equal to transform dot position dot x. So this is the position. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna firstly gonna put the start pose. Okay, start pose, and we're gonna add this distance what we created this illusion. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna add this to our start pose, this distance, so it will create the illusion. Okay, and we're gonna put in the y-axis transform dot position dot y. Basically this means current position of each background in the y-axis. Okay, so we are not changing anything like that, we're just doing with only x-axis. As you can see, firstly we are just putting a start pose. This is our current pose of the background, and we are adding, we have created the illusion. Okay, we are adding to our current position. As you can see, start pose. Okay, we are adding to that our start pose. And what we're gonna do in the z-axis, we're gonna put transform. Okay, transform dot position. Okay, transform dot position dot z. Basically transform dot position dot z mean current position in the z-axis of background for each background. Okay, So as you can see, transform dot position means over here the current position for each background or each background current position, and we are setting it start pose. As you know, start pose is the current position of our background, and plus we are adding this distance. We created this illusion. Okay, firstly we are taking the main camera x-axis, we are multiplying with some unit. Okay, we're gonna choose different parallax effect for each background. Okay, so it will create the effect. Okay, it will create and we are storing into this distance, so we are adding that distance our current background. So we're gonna choose different parallax effect, so it will create different distance number. Okay, so it will create the illusion. So for the first one we're gonna choose, okay, this tree one we're gonna choose the higher number, and we're gonna choose the middle one something a little lower than this front one, and we're gonna choose the background little, so it will move pretty slowly, so it will create the illusion effect of parallax. So I hope you get the idea. Transform dot position means over here the current position. Okay, so we are storing that whatever illusion we have created, we are storing into this distance float parameter, and we are adding to our current position of background. So okay, and we're gonna choose different parallax effect, as that's why we made it public. Okay, public float parallax effect, as you can see. So control s on your keyboard when you were done, and head again to unity. So what we need to drag the main camera, so we will have the main camera. So we're gonna need to drag the main camera into our cam field. Okay, and we're gonna choose different parallax effect. So we have attached this parallax script to each background, so we're gonna choose different number for each background, so it will create the illusion. Okay, so just wait for to compile, and you will able to see. As you can see, so select all of this background. Okay, by holding down shift and left mouse button, select all of them and drag the main camera. Okay, now we have the main camera, and we're gonna choose a different. So one is the pretty far one, so we're gonna choose a little number, so it will move little so slowly. Okay, and for the first background or the tree, as you can see mountain, we're gonna choose a little higher number, so the first one will move too fast. Okay, and the second one we're gonna choose a middle number, something like, as you can see, we're gonna set point 2, you can choose something like point 3, like that. So now if we hit play, okay, now if we hit play, we will able to see the illusion, and you also just need to add that parallax effect to parent game object. Okay, basically as you can see the background going different speed. Okay, each background going different speed, as you can see, the close one going so fast, and the middle one just going a little slow, and the far one going too slow. So that is the illusion we have created. We just multiplying with our camera with some unit this parallax effect, and then whatever we have done, we just adding that a result to our current background. Okay, so I hope you get the idea. So what we need, you can duplicate this. Okay, you can duplicate this. So if I delete this one, okay, if I delete this, so what you need, you just need to add the component to our, as you can see. So duplicate this, select all of them and duplicate this and move it something like this. Okay, and we also we need to remove this parallax effect to child game object. Okay, these are childs, so we're gonna put it into this parent. Okay, and we're gonna remove the script from the child. We not shouldn't attach the parallax effect to the child game object. We should remove it. So we're gonna remove that, and we're gonna override and then apply all. Okay, and then if you hit play, it will do the same thing. Okay, so you shouldn't add that parallax effect to child game object of backgrounds. You just have to add to parent game object of backgrounds. Okay, So as you can see, I will put a link in the description of this background. You can go and check this out. Okay, so if you learn something, or if you enjoy this tutorial just like this, and give a basically give a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, then consider to subscribe for future tutorials. Okay, and if you want to support me, you can support me on patreon.com. And lastly, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoy.